Well, alrighty then, 5 days every single week, we are here to start your day, and today is no different. You're welcome. Pleasantness and, of course, everything that's great, lovely, that's what we bring to you for a Thursday.
Yes, being with you every morning is an invaluable experience. And you know, we cannot thank you enough.
Yes, indeed. So it's about to be another beautiful time on Wake Up Nigeria, and hey, we're poised for it all. Trust us.
Oh yes, sir, we are cooking everything good and interesting to suit your appetite, Yum.
So you want to stay connected as we get the show started here for a Thursday. My name is Mazino Appeal.
And I am Mary Bashua Alimi. You can stream the show live at tvcentertainment.tv and on Facebook at TVC Connect.
All right, now you want to remember to use the hashtag as you send in your comments across all our social media platforms, okay? Don't forget.
Yes, that's right. And of course, you know, our app remains available for download at absolutely no cost at all. It's on any Android or iOS store. Yep. And of course, you get to watch us on your mobile devices from anywhere in the world.
Let's remind you guys, once again, to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It is tvcentertainment.tv, very easy.
And you can also join us on IG Live.
Yeah,
that's on Fridays,
tomorrow,
yes, at 2:30 p.m. as we bring you someone special for a chat.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Something is happening.
Absolutely love
Why
coffee.
do you guys do that? Like trying to get yourself out of time fixes?
It's a sign of the times.
The sign of which times?
Morning, people.
Good
Hey,
morning.
Mike, how you doing, man?
So last night I argued late into the night, yeah? Even though it wasn't a physical argument, it was a virtual argument.
Oh, okay.
Have you ever, you know, how much of emotions do you put into a virtual chat?
Well,
You know, have you ever...
I'm a monster. Let me just let you know when it comes to virtual chatting and arguments. But the truth is, ever since I was a kid, I've always been the guy who sits on the fence and watches guys that are fighting and start, you know, I start throwing those words to instigate so I'm that kind of a person when it comes to a group forum and there's an argument. I'm just the one that's just...
So if I want to get very serious, I'll move to the system.
Oh,
you understand? You have
that's
to
me.
If you really want to get serious, like you want to get out...
No, your phone.
No.
The phone will limit
the
you.
passion
now.
is not,
It's
not the same.
You get on the system so that you have both hands on deck.
Oh, literally.
Both hands on deck. Yes, like your phone. Yeah, you just have two thumbs on deck. Hello, you want both hands on deck.
What was your argument about?
Okay, so it was yesterday, football, Champions League, of course. Neymar has been heralded as maybe
Atalanta versus PSG. Match.
Neymar has been heralded as maybe the next best thing after Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi.
Yeah.
And I feel personally that he has not lived up to the hype is too much.
Yes,
Yeah.
no, yes.
I feel it's far too much.
Yeah.
I mean, to the extent, like, if you've ever compared Neymar to Ronaldinho,
You deserve
should
20
be
strokes
flogged.
of the...
Shame on you. Okay, but anyway, so he has been heralded as the next best thing, and he has never lived up to that expectation since leaving Messi's shadow. So, but this is the first time in 3 years in PSG they've gotten past the quarterfinal, and it was a very dramatic match. I mean, he did all he could do, masquerading, dancing, playing, but he didn't have the final end product just as much as Gigi Okocha. Remember Okocha as a Nigerian and all that. So they finally, I mean, last 2 minutes of the match, 89th minute, they scored, they equalized, and won the match in regulation time.
You can imagine.
2-1. So it was a match. It was a night of drama. You know, after taking all the slack, he had missed one-on-ones and all that. But they still qualified. Good job for them. They might have a chance to go as far as winning the Champions League.
Yeah, they might. There were 3 guys that were mentioned in particular: Mbappe, Neymar himself, and Icardi. Because we were like, those 3 really distinguished themselves.
They can. Yeah, Icardi was just over there, but Mbappe was on the bench, came in and changed the match. And well, we might just see Paris Saint-Germain, maybe in the finals.
It could happen.
We're talking about that inside of sports today, aren't we?
Yeah?
We're talking about that inside of sports.
No, well, yeah, definitely.
You know, funny thing is, I've always been impressed about her passion for sports. And I always wonder why you never took one on.
No, I could not.
Why not?
There were some of us that we were good at the sidelines. You know, just
it happens with something called Arsenal fans. There's a group of people. You might not know them because they're used to losing and being heartbroken.
Are you an Arsenal fan?
They're called Arsenal fans.
Mary?
They're just this select group of people.
Are you?
But they are very wonderful
going at
people.
you
Are you
now?
guys like looking for my trouble?
They're very wonderful
yes, I'm an
people.
Arsenal fan, and I'm proudly Arsenal. Okay, I'm also a Nigerian, and I'm proudly Nigerian. So let's leave it at
See,
that.
Arsenal, Nigeria, there's one particular network if you join it, and one particular bag if you join it, your life is buried.
You're on your
If you
own.
put those 4 together.
I think you'd have made a very fantastic sportswoman, honestly.
I've actually really considered it. It's just I feel like I'm putting my hand into too many pies.
It's not too
but
late.
Really,
You're still young.
sports
You're only
is something I
23.
really love. No, I'm 18. Yeah.
I thought you were
Forgive me.
16. That's 2 years on. I thought you were
Can
16.
you imagine? No, I'm not as young as that anymore.
Okay, okay.
We've got the news coming on now. So let's let Mary do that. Thank you very much.
We begin this hour, sadly, with the death of a former United States ambassador to Nigeria, Walter Carrington. His death was confirmed in a statement signed by his wife, Iris Carrington. She said, and I quote, "It is with a heavy and broken heart, but with gratitude to God for his life of selfless humanity, that I announce the passing of my beloved husband, Walter Carrington, former U.S. ambassador to Nigeria and Senegal," end of quote. He passed on peacefully on Tuesday at the age of 90, the statement added. He was surrounded by loved ones and friends who saw him as a loving husband and father. Mr. Carrington served as the U.S. ambassador to the Republic of Senegal from 1980 to 1981. In 1993, he assumed office in Nigeria as ambassador and remained in the country until 1997. His connection with Nigeria grew beyond diplomacy as he married an Edo State-born medical doctor. He will be remembered for his anti-dictatorship stance exhibited during the reign of General Sani Abacha. Moving on, 94 Nigerians stranded in Lebanon have been evacuated. The evacuees arrived Murtala Muhammed International Airport in Lagos aboard Middle East Airlines. The evacuees are expected to conduct COVID-19 tests, self-quarantine for 14 days, when they will pick up their passports. They narrated sad tales of underpayment and sexual abuse by their Lebanese employers. The federal government has given them job offers and cash of 15,000 naira each to cushion the effects of their experiences in Lebanon. The Department of State Services in Jos, the Plateau State capital, has released the former CBN Deputy Governor, Obadiah Mailafia, who was earlier invited by the DSS over his recent comments that one of the northern governors is the commander of Boko Haram. Mr. Obadiah was set free after 6 hours in the custody of the DSS. His lawyer, Yakubu Bawa, told journalists that his client was asked to present a surety whose international passport and national identity were taken before being permitted to leave. Although the DSS let him go, they say he will be invited back when the need arises. To Abuja now, where the Federal Executive Council has approved the sum of 8.49 billion naira for the procurement of 12 medical equipment for testing of cases of COVID-19 by the Nigeria Center for Disease Control. The equipment is to keep the country in a state of preparedness to contain community transmission of the virus, which has affected more than 586 local government areas. Tai Amodu reports.
The Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 had stated its commitment to expand testing centers for the virus across the country by the end of the month. This possibly informed the memo presented to the Federal Executive Council for procurement of medical items to expand testing capacities and diagnostic capabilities. Minister of Health Osage Ehaniri explained that the plan was to have at least one sample collection center in every local government.
These resources will be necessary to go around the 774 local government areas to ensure that persons in rural areas or small towns are not excluded, and to ensure that not only the big cities are the ones being attended to.
A major worry was the obvious disregard for COVID-19 safety protocols that had been observed at political campaigns in Edo State and burials, and whether there was need to halt elections already slated to hold. The Ministers of Information and Health acknowledged risks involved and peculiar circumstances created by the pandemic, but they noted that people had to take personal responsibility for protecting themselves.
That's a situation where you are balancing between what the Constitution says. If the Constitution says you must do election by end of this year, and then the need for it, you know what it will mean if you decide to start bringing in, enforcing things that people begin to read another meaning into.
It has been proven that wearing a mask saves many lives, saves you, saves the other people. and we will continue to harp on people to please take personal responsibility.
Council also approved a national gender action plan on climate change. The purpose of this policy is to mainstream gender within the climate change action plan, since women bear the main brunt of the adverse effects of climate change. This will ensure women are involved in climate action activities right from inception, design, development, implementation, monitoring, and evaluation of projects. Taya Modu, TVC News, Abuja.
We'll begin this morning with the Punch newspaper, and it says APC interim panel battles against time, party to shift convention, committee to meet next week, yet to begin reconciliation. Defunct NWC members grumble over lack of consultation. PGFDG Rights Committee seeks another NEC meeting. Here we see Sanwo-Olu decries Lagos representation in federal government agencies.
All right, then. So let's do the Nation newspaper this morning, Thursday, August 13th, 2020. We start with this one. Federal government pumps 8.5 billion naira to boost COVID-19 tests. And Unilag VC rejects removal by council. This was all the buzz on social media yesterday. ASU to meet as Senate backs Ogundikpe. And NLC seeks funding for education health sector. Russia to produce 5 million vaccine doses monthly. At the bottom of the page there, ex-US Ambassador Carrington dies at 90. Buhari mourns envoy. I'm going to go into the Guardian newspaper real quick. And at the top, we find FG denies placing order for Russian vaccine. Nigerian doctors hail scientists. New experimental COVID-19 drug prevents disease in mice. U.S. government strikes $1.525 billion deal for 100 million doses of vaccine. And FEC okays 8.49 billion naira for tests in local governments. I think I'll let you do the next one. Let's do the Tribune newspaper now, Mary.
Okay. Taking a look at the Nigerian Tribune now, it says Magu cries over fair hearing. Lawyer writes salami panel. EFCC probes alleged attempt by Lebanese to smuggle $890,000. That's a whooping sum.
Oh, yes.
Lagos Council boss dies of COVID-19. Sharia court sentences 70-year-old to death for raping 10-year-old. Soldier jailed 55 years for killing WHO staff. Federal government to deduct money from states guilty of double taxation. Audit query, NPA recovers $89 million, 2.404 billion naira outstanding rental debts. And here we see members of Pengasan, the photo story there, protesting over alleged 3 months unpaid salaries in Abuja. Up here, we see rumble in Unilag over sack of VC. I remain VC, says Ogundikpe. ASU, SANU, others react. Not yet informed, Education Ministry says. Federal Executive Council okays 8.49 billion naira to procure COVID-19 testing kits. Walter Carrington dies at 90. DSS grills Meilafia for 6 hours, releases him on bail. And finally, Arotile, driver, vehicle owner arraigned in Kaduna. All of these stories and more you can catch in the Nigerian Tribune newspaper today.
The Vanguard this morning is a potpourri of headlines spread all over the front page. But what strikes you first is the picture of the returning Nigerians evacuated from Lebanon being profiled at the arrival area of the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Ikeja, yesterday. This was all the buzz a couple of weeks ago. Good to see that these ladies are back. They told very horrific stories of their experience in Lebanon. First headline, insecurity, storm over governor's request for bailout. Let governors account for previous bailouts, Pandef says. Insecurity, not about bailout at Fenifere. Don't give governors money. Alegbo Foundation, and lasting solution needed, not bailout, YCE. Their demand in order, Ayo Adebanjo, and let responsible Nigerians carry arms, says ORTOM, that's Autumn. COVID-19, Lagos records 113 new infections as confirmed cases rise to 47,713. A few other headlines from the Vanguard. EFCC Magu kicks against secret trial, fair hearing denial by panel, and FEC asks finance minister to deduct at source allocation of states guilty of double taxation. I will end with this one here. Why gridlock persists on a Papa Oshodi Expressway. The transport union, it was quite the scene yesterday as the tankers were lined all the way from almost Sele up until the tank farms in Apapa, which was very odd. These were all tankers, not containers this time, so very confusing.
Okay, I don't think we have time to take another newspaper
but we'll catch
headline.
it again in the next hour.
But definitely, yes, in the next hour, we'll definitely give you more on that. Stay with us as we take this break. Time for us to give you the Lagos traffic updates on Wake Up Nigeria. You know, of course, that Lagos roads remain unpredictable as ever, as a matter of fact. So it's that time on the show when we give you tips to make your journey faster and easier, of course, which is very, very necessary. Okay, so I'm going to start off this morning with the Abule Egba to Mushin axis. That's a long stretch, I know. We'll take a look at what the traffic situation is like around there. I seem to have a bit of network issues here, so I'm going to let the guys give me their reports first while I try to sort this out now. Okay. So what is it?
All right,
do you have any updates?
I'll jump in here and let you know if you're coming from the Amodofi area or even Badagry. There's plenty of people who try to make it to the island from this area of Lagos. You will be finding plenty of restrictions along your way, especially at the Mile 2 roundabout as you're heading to Orile, and Orile is the big one. Just as you get on the Igamu Bridge, there's plenty of traffic on that bridge. In fact, it might stretch about 1.5 kilometers. But once you get past that, it's almost free all the way till the island, but you will be restricted somewhere around CMS. It's still a Thursday. I mean, it is a Thursday, so it's expected that it should be light traffic today. So it won't be as bad as what it was yesterday. But if you're still getting dressed now, you're 10 minutes too late, because by the time you're done, the roads might just be too clogged up. But I advise that you leave early now, or just prepare for a very long while on the roads. You will get there eventually. Third Mainland is open, I think, if you're heading towards the island at about this time. What do you have?
Nothing new apart from that you have, but yeah, because it's Thursday, so up until 9:30, 10, that's when it picks up. That's when it normally will pick up.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I'm expecting more updates from you guys, but thankfully it's a bit sorted out for me here. Abule Egba to Mushin bus stop this morning. If you're driving, it will take you about 1 hour, 25 minutes to get to your destination if you've already set out, okay? So areas to look out for regarding traffic. Well, coming from Abule Egba is not so bad. You're just going to experience pockets of light traffic until you get to Ilepo bus stop. That's where the gridlock starts. That gridlock will take you all the way to Iyano-Ipaja. The Iyano-Ipaja axis gridlock here. But when you're past Iyano-Ipaja, nothing much to worry about until you're close to Dokpemu. So as you're approaching Dokpemu, that's where there's light traffic. And it develops into a gridlock, so it doesn't get better at any point until you are past Ikeja. So the gridlock more or less starts from about Cement bus stop this morning. So just prepare your mind for it. It's quite a long one. That's where the chunk of your time will be spent. But once you're past Ikeja, it's pretty good to go. Just pockets of light traffic until you get to Oshodi. Approaching it around the arena axis, there's light traffic, then a gridlock at the bridge, and then afterwards, pockets of light traffic until you get to Mushin bus stop. But I'm pretty sure you'll do well as long as you obey traffic regulations, of course. Now, I wonder, Mazino, you seem to be on fire this morning. What else do you have for me regarding updates, traffic-wise? All
right, so I will let you know that it's going to take you about 45 minutes if you're heading from that area I mentioned up until Ikeja. If you're heading from there to the island, it's going to be about 15 minutes. If you're heading from K2 area to the island, that will take you about 45 minutes. It's pretty free in that direction right now. So, hey, you're good to go. You're in good hands. Just make sure you obey all the traffic rules and don't do anything like one way, because the authorities these days are out for anybody who defaults, because they're trying to keep order on the roads. So please don't do anything that's not legal on the roads, and be careful out there.
You're absolutely correct. As a matter of fact, if you're stepping up from Ojodu-Beja bus stop, heading towards CMS garage, it will take you just about 33 minutes to get to your destination. Remember, this time is for if you're driving, okay? Because if you're taking a public public form of transportation, you should factor in an hour extra because of you know, trying to board the bus moving, all the stops
Looking
and
for
all. So if
change.
you're driving less than 35 minutes from Ojodubeja to CMS Garage, as at now, okay? There's literally no gridlock at this moment, just light traffic in some areas. But besides that, you're good to go. Now, keep in mind that you need to have consideration for other road users. Drive carefully and keep the next driver in mind when you're driving, because you never know what's going through his mind. I'll join the guys in the kitchen right now. I'm sure there's a gist or two for you.
Alrighty, so while we're expecting Mary, very interesting topic we have today.
Yeah,
I just wanted to say Mary's looking absolutely comfortable in what she's wearing today. Let's get to this topic that I found very interesting yesterday evening into this morning. Remember the lady with the blue eyes in Ilorin? Yeah. So she got plenty of attention, and apparently a lot of photographers want to get her on the, on the other side of their cameras. There is a Nigerian actress, Sylvia Oluchi, who has come out with a suggestion, let me say. And I would like to read some of what she said so that you can absolutely get what I mean. She said the culture of photographers issuing out fame as a compensation for injustice and poverty is intrinsically flawed. Fame is not a reward. Fame is actually endured. In exchange for living your dreams, celebrities will tell you that their utopia is to keep that success and lose the fame. What she's arguing is that these guys actually are not ready for that kind of attention that we are thrusting them into. She gave the example of Oluchi, the bread seller, and how the fame actually was adverse to her life. And actual fact, she actually did confess that the fame wasn't very advantageous to her. I've always had this at the back of my mind when these things come up. So you can see her statement on your screens right now, Sylvia Oluchi's statement. And this has always been my thought. I don't know what other people, I've never wanted to voice it out before.
People always felt that the fame was a disadvantage.
It is a disadvantage.
Yeah.
They're not ready for all of that. They don't have the mechanism to cope with the attention or even what they're going to use all that.
Okay, let's read her statement. She said, I recall the bread seller who T.Y. Bello made famous. Illiteracy and naivety meant she couldn't convert the sudden fame to anything substantial, and there's always someone lurking to take advantage, I guess. That's what she meant before that went on. Okay, so I would say to each his own. However, I'm of the opinion that few people are ever ready for fame, really. It's sometimes people get thrust into the limelight. I would say the main problem is how that limelight is being managed for the person. So you bring someone into fame like that. There might be people looking for those with unique features. For photography. Somebody might decide to send, give the children an education. So they grow up to be like maybe supermodels because of their unique features. I feel these things give you an opportunity to be out there, let people know you exist. It is how it is managed in most cases. Say this bread seller issue, for example. There were issues between she and her husband. They were together, but the whole thing put them apart.
Collapsed,
now, in that kind of situation, a counselor should have been gotten for them.
Whose responsibility is it, though, to get them a counselor?
Do you know something?
If I brought you into fame, should I now be pursuing you every aspect of your life? Okay, take counselor.
That is where the issue is. Exactly. People always believe that the person who brought you to fame should do everything. It's not. She's making an income from it, but will she agree to take parts of her income to pay for a
don't you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's
I get
exactly
you. Yeah,
what Oluchi means.
Exactly. The talking point here is
ready.
pushing them into, and yes, it has its pros and cons. If they're not pushing to that fame, they probably will not get the help they need, or the help that people think they need, because you have to throw them into the limelight. Like the lady and her child. I know there were some questions that also came up. Did the eyes just develop? Didn't the husband know before they got married? How about the kids? Was it a new thing? So there's more to the story. I mean, yes, the kids are like, what, 6 years?
Yeah, 6,
so,
about 6 and 3.
I know, so did they just sleep and maybe
then you woke up
one day and it was blue?
It's also an African thing.
Did
so
they just wake up
maybe
one day and it
things
was
aren't
blue?
going well for him, and then somebody tells him, that
So
your
now
wife
my
with
point
blue
there-
eyes, she's
my
responsible.
My point I want
husband
to say
actually also said there was a report about the husband telling that there were issues from before. It might not be exactly because of the features that she has. But two other instances come to mind. There's Precious, the little girl from Warri who was going to school, was returned from school because of unpaid school fees, and the clout that people use that to chase.
Yes.
You know, there's this instance again about the girl who was selling groundnut at Yaba and doing her homework using the dying light of evening and car headlights to do her homework. She got plenty of attention. She got a scholarship and all, but there were people who were just standing in the sidelines just to
take advantage.
get like 1,000 followers, followers. That is the annoying part for me, that it's not genuine, the help that comes their way.
The truth is, in life, it's not every help you get that is done because somebody wants to be kind to you. That's just the way life is. There will always be the sharks, and there will always be the kind-hearted ones, the people who mean well for you. People chase clout. Imagine someone posting obituary on Twitter, and the first thing you will see is, follow me, let's follow each other. Or you see things like, I sell shoes under an obituary. So, people would always take advantage of anything that blows. It's just a normal thing.
Yeah, so I feel like, see, look, the help came to them. Yes, they were not prepared to handle the fame. It's better than being hungry. Fame and small help. Manage it, you know, like you mentioned the success on the young lady came up and said, oh, everything was audio. No, we saw some scenes, we saw some receipts, exactly. Not everything was audio. You know, I don't know who put her up to do that.
Most
and then
might have been, but
some people
not
also even came and rejoined us and said, yes, there'll be audio. It's normal. Audio is part of the whole, you know.
Well, I just hope that in the case of this young lady in Ilori, that while they're thinking of helping her and pushing her into this limelight, they're also thinking of everything else that would happen, using all other instances as a template.
I would say that is also a lesson for everybody who is probably going to be a potential famous person. When you get the fame, yes, it's easy to get carried away. You know, you just like all the paparazzi, all the glitz and glamour, but keep in mind that everything fizzles out.
Yeah, it does.
Tubaba used to be like the biggest thing.
Tubaba is still the biggest thing. No, stop. Tubaba, you're still
don't use Tubaba as that for example.
You guys know what
don't use Tubaba.
You don't use Tubaba. Boys used to be like the ultimate.
Exactly, not Tubaba.
Look, these are guys that you will still talk about till today. Yes, we'd say, oh, they are big. It's just like you can never forget certain American legends. Doesn't mean that they are the in thing at the moment.
I agree with you. I understand.
So everybody has time. You will fizzle out. The issue is,
ouch,
what do you...
I'll fizzle out. Oh, God.
We will fizzle out.
I don't want to fizzle out.
When you are in the limelight, when you have the opportunity, how you make use of it is actually what counts. It can be easy to get carried away. Yeah. But then what are you doing with it? Okay. That's usually the thing.
Tubaba is still in the limelight.
You guys are...
If you want to use that, you can say something like nice.
Nice is still in the limelight.
Which, it depends on your light. There are different kinds of
there
are different kinds of lights.
You know, there are some places where if Nice's music is playing, the way people will go crazy.
You enjoy the music, but he's not active.
You don't know if it's not active now.
See, there are different kinds of light. There's fluorescent. There's daylight, there's candlelight. So it depends on what kind of limelight Nice is on now.
Mary Alimi just left the group chats.
So maybe the light might be candlelight or something. All right, that's it.
It is a beautiful Thursday morning, and we are here just about to kick off the second lap of Wake Up Nigeria, where we bring you the very best of entertainment from the continent of Africa.
Okay, so the second hour just began, and of course we're rolling to the camp of the heavyweights right now, where we unveil guests, chefs, celebs, and lots more here on the show.
Yeah, but before then, you know we got you, huh? Our sole purpose every morning is making sure your day starts right. Yes, that gives us a lot of joy. So let's enjoy the next 1 hour, 45 minutes together, all right? Don't go anywhere.
So thank you very much. We are absolutely appreciative of this, that you're joining us every morning. We are here as long as you guys let us into your homes via your television sets. My name is Mazino Appeal.
My name is Mary Bashua Alimi. As always, you can stream live at tvcentertainment.tv and on Facebook at TVC Connect.
And the TVC app remains available for download free of charge, of course, on both Android and iOS store. It allows you to watch us from anywhere in the world, whether it's Italy, Greece, South Africa, America. Just
And of course, for more exciting videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, tvcentertainment.tv.
Also endeavor to join us on IG Live every Friday. That's tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. For that something extra with someone special.
Well, As it is, the kitchen is set to come alive with aromas
I can't wait.
shortly.
Yep.
Yes, we have Chef Nathaniel in the kitchen.
So I saw an interview late last night into early this morning. Sadiq Abacha, the son of Abacha, stated that his father didn't loot money, that he took money out for other purposes.
Okay. What other family purposes?
That's where he ended.
Really?
And he spoke about, of course, personally missing his father, which is understandable and all of that, missing him growing up and all of that. But the part that just interested me and every other person was that the money wasn't looted. It was taken for other purposes.
You know, this thing you said reminded me of something that I was thinking of yesterday.
What was that?
I was watching a movie on TV, and this man, very rich man, wouldn't spend money on his children. As in rich. It was so rich that he had several houses. A friend came to borrow money from him after doing an extravagant party. He told his friend, did I tell you to spend so much money? I can give you 10 billion now, but I'll not give you because you are wasteful. That's how rich the man was. And there was a time he sat down with his secretary. Before he sacked the secretary, he made the secretary remind him of all the properties he had. And then it had me thinking, so many people have lost their money in banks simply because they don't tell their relatives anything.
True, actually.
They've lost properties to people who have absolutely no business with their family simply because you are hiding what you have from your own family members.
Two things. First off, maybe he's trying to cultivate a habit in the children of be your own man, make your own money, be
That's
productive.
what he was trying to do, but he overdid it.
Two, there are banks today that are standing on the monies of people who are unable to get it back.
Yes.
But see, look, that's how it is. It is what it is. It is what it is.
You don't
A lot
tell
of people will do that. It will still happen. In fact, you probably have money somewhere that no other person knows.
I do.
It's okay.
All my NYC,
Exactly.
NYC money is still in. I'm not going to mention the bank. I never took it out. It's still there.
You see, yeah, so
but I went back last month, very funny, and I was told, okay, I went back to, I have
Which
two
year are we
accounts now.
talking about?
Don't worry.
9,000 or 19,000.
But I went back to check for it last month, and I was told that it was zero account. And I'm like, why? I never took it out.
They've been taking bank charges.
Bank charges?
Yeah.
Bank charges for what?
Yeah, because you abandoned the account.
Do you know how much was in there?
50 naira, 100 naira, 200 maintenance
It was a long time
fee.
ago, so I understand. No wahala.
But it's all right. I know for sure that Ibrahim is on standby to give us the news. Hi, Ibrahim.
Hi, Mary. You know, so many things happen behind the scene that makes this program very interesting. And then sometimes we just tend to flash them and people
We've got
go
a
like,
clip
oh,
of you
this is what
getting
we get
ready.
to see. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control reported 453 new cases of coronavirus overnight, taking the country's total number of cases to 47,743. Of the new cases, Lagos recorded the highest figure with 113, followed by the Federal Capital Territory with 72 cases. Other states with high numbers include Plateau, 59, Enugu, 55, Kaduna, 38. So far, 33,943 people have been discharged. 956 people have died from COVID-19 complications. And New Zealand has reported 14 new cases of COVID-19 a day after its biggest city, Auckland, went back into lockdown. The detection of 4 new infected family members earlier this week shocked a country that had recorded no locally transmitted cases for more than 3 months. Of the new cases, 13 have been linked back to this family, while 1 is an overseas arrival who was in quarantine. All the confirmed cases will now go into quarantine. That's according to some officials. Some of their contacts may also be quarantined. And the Department of State Services in Jos, the Plateau State capital, has released the former CBN Deputy Governor Obadiah Melafia, who was earlier invited by the DSS over his recent comment that one of the northern governors is the commander of Boko Haram. Mr. Obadiah was set free after 6 hours in the custody of the DSS. His lawyer, Yakubu Bawa, told journalists that his client was asked to present a surety whose international passport and national identity were taken before being permitted to leave. Although the DSS let him go, they say he will be invited back when the need arises.
Whether it is in Bocos, in Jos, whether it is in Jos,
Yes.
every Orion,
Yes.
Okajuru. Everywhere. Ninzom. Everywhere. Zangon Katal. Everywhere a child. Kagoma. Everywhere a child. Zankua. Maiduguri. That's right. Because the duty of government is to protect the people. Yes, sir. We must ensure that continues. Amen. We must never give up on our country. Amen. I've said it before, like Nelson Mandela. If it is needed, I am ready to die for our people.
Amen.
And a former United States ambassador to Nigeria, Walter Carrington, is dead. His death was confirmed in a statement signed by his wife, Arese Carrington, who said, quote, "It's with a heavy and broken heart, but with gratitude to God for his life of selfless humanity, that I announce the passing of my beloved husband, Walter Carrington, former U.S. ambassador to Nigeria and Senegal." End of quote. He passed on peacefully on Tuesday at the age of 90. He was surrounded by loved ones and friends who saw him as a loving husband and father. Mr. Carrington served as the U.S. ambassador to the Republic of Senegal from 1980 and 1981. In 1993, he assumed office in Nigeria as ambassador and remained in the country till 1997. His connection with Nigeria grew beyond diplomacy. As a married and Edo State-born medical doctor, he will be remembered for his anti-dictatorship stance exhibited during the reign of General Sani Abacha. 94 Nigerians stranded in Lebanon have been evacuated. The evacuees arrived at Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos aboard Middle East Airlines. The evacuees are expected to conduct COVID-19 tests, self-quarantine for 14 days when they will pick up their passports. They narrated sad tales of underpayment and sexual abuse by their Lebanese employers. The federal government has given them job offer and cash of offered 15,000 naira each to cushion the effect of their experiences in Lebanon.
It backs Ogundipe. And of course, a photo story here showing Nigerian returnees from Lebanon at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Ikeja, just yesterday.
Yeah, same on the page, front page of the Vanguard as well. That picture makes a showcase on there. The major headline, insecurity, storm over governor's request for bailout. From the Vanguard once again. Let governors account for previous bailouts, says Pandef. Insecurity not about bailout, says Afenifere. Don't give governors money, Alaigbo Foundation. And lasting solution needed, not bailout, says YCE. The demand in order, says Ayo Adibanjo, and more on that story. If you're interested in the stocks, front page here for the Vanguard says stocks rise to 8-week high as oil prices gain 1.5%. Another headline on the Vanguard for the Unilag VC, ASUS kicks against governing council sack of VC. I remain Unilag VC, Ogundipe insists, and INEC NGO task Edo Youth on violence at Obaseki Izeyamu intensify campaign.
All right, Nigerian Tribune is what I have now. Magu cries over fair hearing, lawyer writes salami panel. EFCC probes alleged attempt by Lebanese to smuggle $890,000. Lagos Council bus dies of COVID-19. Sharia court sentences 70-year-old to death for raping 10-year-old. Soldier jailed 55 years for killing WHO staff. Federal government to deduct money from states guilty of double taxation. Audit query, NPA recovers $89 million. 2.404 billion naira outstanding rental debts. Up here we see rumble in Unilag over sack of VC. I remain VC, says Ogundipe. ASU, SANU, others react. Not yet informed, Education Ministry says. Federal Executive Council okays 8.49 billion naira to procure COVID-19 testing kits. Walter Carrington dies at 90. DSS grills Ame Lafia for 6 hours, releases him on bail. And finally, Arotile, driver vehicle owner arraigned in Kaduna. All of these stories and more in the Nigerian Tribune today.
The Daily Trust has quite a few interesting headlines and sub-headlines here. First one, COVID-19 hits 586 LGAs. Experts blame citizens' non-compliance to guidelines. FEC approves 8.49 billion naira for test kits, and health workers threaten strike over welfare. The big picture here on the front page for the Daily Trust has got the members of the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association penguins in protest over non-payment of their 3-month salary in Abuja yesterday. And at the top of the page, squeeze older generation out of power, says Obasanjo as he tells the youth. And Magu challenges Salami's panel, alleges rights violation. Sanusi proceeds to Oxford University as visiting scholar. That's it for the papers, for the front page here today.
And that's it for it today, as you said. All that activity. Whenever we have Tony doing fitness, you just feel like, what am I doing with my life? But hey, after doing all that exercise, you have to fill up. And that's why we are here, right here in the kitchen on Wake Up Nigeria. Chef Nathaniel! Yes, so Natido Cuisine. He's the one in charge today, and he's going to be preparing something I would say is kind of different from what we are used to when it comes to Chef Nathaniel. You know, he's always trying to make quick, easy meals. Today he's making something quick and easy, but very tasty as well. So what is it for breakfast?
So today we're making Chinese stir-fried rice and pomo sauce.
There's always that twist by Chef Nathaniel.
Yes. Because
so
we are not Chinese.
You're having the Chinese stir-fried rice and then pomo
sauce.
Sauce. Wow.
So normally Chinese stir-fried rice, they mostly use either chicken, beef, or prawn. But since we are Nigerians, we like pomo. So, or most people, or many people like
pomo. Okay, so pomo sauce, if you've never thought of having it with your Chinese rice, don't worry. You are going to learn something really different today. So let's talk about the ingredients. What are we making use of?
As general, we have rice, then we have cucumbers, bell peppers, onions and garlic, very important. Carrots, spring onions, runner beans, our spices, olive oil, then soy sauce, oyster sauce, and sesame oil.
All right, so let's get started. What is it we're beginning with?
We'll start with the rice.
Boiling the rice.
Yes. Okay. Because we'll parboil it, so let's just toast this.
The water is already hot, right?
Yeah, just semi-boiled.
Okay. So is it recommended that you have the water hot before putting in the rice, or it doesn't really matter?
Most times it's recommended that the rice and that the water is hot, so it boils. Instead of, because if the water is like lukewarm, it would like take time before it starts absorb.
And that might even let it
but once they do hot, it just starts boiling.
Immediately.
Rice, noodles, pasta is always advisable.
Okay. So has that salt been put in there?
No.
No salt yet?
Yes.
So are you going to put salt, or
just
there's no need for salt?
Just a little.
Okay. So. All right. So we have a lot of vegetables to cut.
Yes.
So that will definitely take time. Because of that, we need to take this break. All right, back to the kitchen it is. As I said, we're still very busy trying to get our vegetables ready. Chef Nathaniel! Yes, he's the chef in charge today of Natido Cuisine.
And today's my mom's birthday.
Yeah, today is his mom's birthday. So he decided to make something quite different from the usual. But of course, there will always be Chef Nathaniel in every dish, because that's why we're having pomo sauce with Chinese stir-fried rice.
Sure.
Yeah, think about it. Okay, so I remember on your birthday, you announced a new project you're working on.
Yes.
So how has it been so far?
It's been interesting, and it has been an interesting ride journey. Not too smooth and not too, which is just a usual.
It's how many days old now?
Just barely a week.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
week.
Normally things like that, of course, they will take time.
Yes, it will take time, but as time goes on, it gets better, find new alternatives and improve. And before you know it now, we turn to international superstar.
But it's been well received. For those who don't know, he actually started his
online restaurant.
Tell us about it.
Yeah, so most of the meals I usually prepare, like most times I don't take the general rice and everything. It's just easy breakfast to get you kick-started for the day. So I started an online restaurant, Natido's Cuisine, officially last week, Wednesday, on my birthday. So it's more like an ordering. Instead of you going to a restaurant to place your order, then I prepare the meal and deliver it to you straight. So on my Instagram bio, that is at Natido Cuisine, you'll see the information there on how to place your orders for your meals, breakfast, and it's been good so far.
Oh, well, I'm glad it's working out well. So all anybody wants to do, if they want to order, is just go to your Instagram
just
page.
Then you see a link, then from there, we'll direct you to.
Fantastic. Okay, so Is there a particular reason the carrots are being cut this way?
Yes, well, I'm going to cut the carrots in 2 different sizes.
Okay.
One is long like this, while the other one is tiny like this.
Why?
The smaller one would be for the rice, while the longer one would be for the sauce.
Okay.
So also for the bell pepper and cucumber, and that's why we want to follow the particular pattern of this.
Okay.
So
now, you know, of course, when we are making rice, for some people, they like just seeing the colors, but they don't want to taste it.
Yes.
So are we going to be having chunks, chewy chunks?
Yes, I'm actually going to stir fry all the vegetables.
Okay.
So it is not like just raw.
Okay.
We'll stir fry it with olive oil.
Okay.
So
but it's still going to be crunchy? Or
yes,
no,
it will still be crunchy. So
Okay.
that have the nice, because it is fried stir fry, so we don't want everything to cook for the vegetables to go down. So just a little bit crunchy, not raw and not soft. That's to give it a nice flavor.
Normally, when people hear Chinese fried rice, the first thing on their mind is, busy.
But if you actually, even on Sunday, I actually hosted some of my friends to this same food, and they all loved it. So it's something you can try once in a while. And seriously, if you've not tried something different, you would think that
it's extremely difficult.
Many Nigerians love Chinese food.
Yeah.
Many Nigerians love it.
Okay, so how much would it cost if I wanted to put this together?
Well, the main expensive ingredients here are this.
Yes, the sesame oil,
yes,
the oyster sauce, and the soy sauce.
Yes, these ones you can easily get them anywhere. Cucumber, bell peppers, this.
Is that basmati rice?
No.
So this is really a local thing.
Yeah, just.
Wow.
Although some people, they use basmati for Chinese.
Yes.
Basmati is just a different species of rice. So you can use basmati for your normal, regular white rice. You can use it for Chinese, whatever.
One of these days, I'm going to try making Chinese fried rice with ofada. Yeah. You know me, I like experimenting like that. Just see
wow.
ofada. I'll not call it Chinese stir fry anymore. I'll just call it ofada stir fry. Oh, my bad.
Seriously, I need to
Stop
try.
stealing my ideas. That's how you stole me down the other time. You're going to take a patent on these things.
And funny enough, I even wanted to even talk about oils, because most times in Nigeria, we are just commonly used to vegetable oil. We hardly use sesame oil or olive oil. And there's a particular reason with that. You know, most of our foods in Nigeria, we do deep fry.
Yes.
Most of the time. And
You've seen the price tag on these things?
Yeah?
You've seen the price tags when you go to the market?
Yes. So sesame oil, olive oil, and vegetable oil, they have different smoke points.
Yeah.
And the vegetable oil has higher smoke points.
Yeah.
So once you put it on fire, once it's boiling, it would take time and everything. So it's best for deep frying and everything. So it's mostly with chefs that you see all this
for cooking, regular cooking.
Because what they cook many times is not the regular
kind of food.
Yeah, so.
But me, I would say, as a Nigerian, you also check. Well, you know, when you go to a store, you check how much is this one.
Okay, it's with price that you.
How much is that, Ororo? Oh,
400 naira.
Bring it. They serve the same purpose.
That most times you would think that, okay, now butter, you can't use butter to fry. Not because you cannot use it, but because the smoke point is very, very low. It's the lowest. So if you allow it to boil too much, it can even cause fire.
Yes.
So that's why most times butter used to either use it in rice just to add it, just for the flavor and
so it's not as if it's just vegetable oil. It's because of the nature of our food.
Yeah.
That's why vegetable oil is just the
okay. But of course, you know, we're usually told that olive oil is safer, good for the health, the heart, and all. The most important thing is to eat well. Sure. Sometimes it's a matter of portions.
Yes.
When you eat too much. I was saying the other day that for Italians, in most cases, pizza is a meal. But if you come to this side, bros, this is a snack. Oh. But you see someone just eating a bar. You not pizza. Say, put me 4 slices. Just give me 4 slices there.
Why
and they'll still. Meanwhile, that 4
pizza.
Slice is somebody's proper meal in Italy, for example. So our culture differs.
Exactly, culture differs.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
we should actually embrace our culture. It's actually nice because so many foreigners, they would want to taste our eba, our fufu, and other things. So if we don't,
if you see the way people are doing eba, have you seen the 5-star eba? There was no 5-star eba.
Yes, I saw it online.
That was really cool. That was really cool.
There are some difference.
Yeah.
It's
when
always
you
nice
roll
when you
a bar and all that. I've not seen fufu. Is it that fufu is not malleable? Anyway, we'll talk more about that.
Yeah, sure.
Right now, though, we have to join Mazino. I know he has a conversation about to take place with Janet Adetu. Hi, Mazino.
Hey, thank you very much, Mary. Okay, so we're back with Janet today on Etiquette, where we are going to be joined by the CEO of JSK Consulting. I already told you who it is. It's still about making a good first impression a second time. You get it? Because this... Anyway, now let's get the conversation started. We have Janet on with us. Hello, Janet. Good morning.
How are you? Good morning. How's everything today?
I'm very good today. Good to have you back a second time on this topic here, how to make a good first impression.
Yes, thank you so much.
Last week you gave us plenty of tips. This week I'm sure we have more because we couldn't conclude on the topic last week. So let's talk about the things that we missed from last week. Now, these impressions...
Oh, let me...
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. That's good.
All right, so now these impressions could be social or business, professional, all of these. So which one are we going to be specifically focused on today?
Well, let me even start today again with general, for those that, probably missed last week. And let me just emphasize a few things, because we tried to get so much in last week. But I want to start off today with what we could call general, which could be used in both business and social settings. Mm-hmm. And they're very simple things, but people take them for granted. So typically, I would say the first thing that is very important about first impressions is really all about your physiology. So when people see you, what's your body language like? Mm-hmm. Are you looking enthusiastic? Are you looking sad? Do you really want to be there? When we see you for the first time, before we even say hello to you, it's all about what we see and perceptions. First impressions, like I said, do go a long way. And it's very, very difficult to get rid of a bad first impression. And it does take a couple of seconds to make that first impression. So what do we see when we see you? Do you look approachable? Do you look credible? Do you look likable? That's the first thing. And people tend to size you up, whether you like it or not, just by looking at you and thinking, are they in your league or are you in my league or not? So physiology, when you step into a place, make sure that you give that first impression, which I will tell you how to do now. Okay. The first thing is smile. Smile goes a long way, and smile is contagious. It's as simple as that. When you go into a place with many people or with a few people, just put a smile on your face. You don't need to be smiling at anyone. You just need to have the physiology that shows that you're happy to be there. Okay, so smile is a key first impression. No matter what you do, smiling can make you go a long way. Because if you smile, somebody will feel like you're approachable and they want to come and say hello. Can you imagine if you're frowning? Nobody will want to come next to you and say hello because you are already wanting them away from you. And at that same point as well, direct eye contact. You can't walk into a place with your eyes looking down on the ground or even in the ceiling. You want to be looking around intentionally. So even if somebody is talking to you, for instance, and you're having a meeting with a client, both corporate or if you're an entrepreneur, you don't want to be looking here, there, and everywhere when you're talking to the person. Because you will distract that person. So you want to have direct eye contact.
First things first, a smile is very, very important. And what we look like, yes? Tell you what we're going to do. Let's do a very short break. When we come back, we're going to be talking about that first line of presentation when you're presenting yourself for that good impression. So do stay tuned. All right, we're still talking etiquette, and we are with Janet Adetu. So we were talking about that good first impression, Janet, if you can hear me, and how a smile is very, very important. But I want us to move a step further now. We know what's happening with the pandemic and all, and we know we can't make physical contact. But where it is possible, eventually, whose responsibility is it to make that first physical contact? I mean, is it me as the guest, or the person who I'm visiting, or the person who I'm meeting?
Okay, that's a perfect question. You see, when it comes to handshake, there's a lot that goes behind it. First of all, culture. If you're in the north of Nigeria, you might not bring out your hand to shake because culture, as a woman, might not allow it. But generally speaking, if you there's nothing wrong, by the way, being the first to extend your hand. As a matter of fact, we say the person who brings out their hand first tends to have power play in a business setting.
Ah.
But then again, of course, if somebody is coming to visit you and you are welcoming the person, it is more than ideal for you to stretch out your hand to receive them in greeting.
As
But
the
if the
host.
person brings out their hand first as well, yes, as the host.
Okay.
So man or woman alike in a business setting, it's always nice to receive them if they're coming into your office or coming into your space. You receive them with a handshake. It's a nice, perfect greeting, you know. But at the same time, if somebody brings out their hand to, you know, greet you first, why not accept it and receive it? At the end of the day, it's all about the important part of greeting, and it is a key element of first impressions. So it's without being, you know, overbearing, without being forceful, you know, without being in someone's face. It's a gradual way of how you bring out your hand to shake and how you shake as well that makes all the difference.
Okay.
You know?
Okay. Another question I have. In England, it is necessary to have about 10 minutes of casual talk before going into business with anybody who you're meeting, maybe for a business lunch or this or that. Would it be necessary in our culture to do stuff like that? Especially when I don't know this person I'm meeting for the first time. What is my first line of, well, I don't know, presentation then? Should I go into how's the family and all of that?
It's most appropriate. You see, the thing is this: if you are going for a meeting and you want to meet a client, quite all right. Depends on where you are, if it's a social gathering or if it's a formal business meeting. If it's a formal business meeting and it's a sit-down one-on-one meeting or a board meeting, there is no time for, you know, this what we call small talk. But if you're in a networking gathering and you're meeting strangers, like you said, you don't know these people, it is appropriate to greet the person very well and engage in small talk. Begin to say things that are common around you that, you know, can generate some kind of chemistry, because a lot of people don't actually like diving right into it. You want to create a relationship. At the end of the day, it's not all about that one business. You want to establish some kind of acquaintance. So you do what we call small talk, and it could be pleasantries, it could be, you know, compliments.
How long should this last
and it
for?
could even be something. Oh well, you know what? 5 minutes, 7 minutes, 10 minutes is okay, and then you can bounce into this is what I do. And the thing is this: if you're in a networking gathering and you just throw it at people, this is what I sell, this is what I produce. People will look at you because they haven't cultivated some credibility. They haven't really, you know, had that chance to get to know you. And the small talk is about who you are, what you do, what you can do for other people. It's that elevator's pitch that you're going to say, this is who I am. And somebody might then say, oh, yes, okay, let's engage in conversation. But if you throw it at them that, look, I have this to sell, or I do this, you might not be lucky with getting acquaintances, because it goes beyond that one relationship. You want to create a network of people that you want to go back to, not just today, but in future as well. So that relationship is very key. And that's the impression people have of you. How did you come across the first time they met you? Did you smile? Did you have a great conversation? Did you engage in things that, you know, are of common interest? You must create some element of chemistry where you meet people. And it doesn't matter whether it's business, even at social as well, because network of people are the people that you need to drive your business or your purpose forward.
Okay, Janet. So that's on a one-on-one basis. But what about a situation where a person has to address an entire crowd for the first time? What do they need to do to make a good first impression then?
Oh, absolutely. It's, you know, again, body language is key, because human beings focus on what they see first before, you know, before what they hear and before what they say. So you're addressing a large crowd, whether it's on the stage, whether it's in a room. First of all, it's as simple as smile, greet everybody, welcome everybody. You might even just throw one pleasantry here or there. And then when you're talking, clarity is important. Focus is key. You need to be very concise with what you're saying. You need to know what you're saying. You can't be mumbling or jumbling or, you know, doing things that are distracting people. For instance, people are all eyes are on you.
Yeah.
Okay. There are some times where you are standing at a lectern, and if you're banging on the lectern or you're trying to emphasize something, you distract your audience. So you want to make sure that you've got the attention of people. Your voice is key in first impressions. Loud, clear, concise, not too fast, not too slow. Slow down indeed if people are asking you to repeat. Make sure that you're
who do I look
focused
at
on what
in
you
that
say.
situation? Am I looking at one person,
And
everybody?
again, your
How long
appearance,
do I
of course,
spend
when
looking
you're
at these people?
talking matters. How long do you spend?
Looking at these people, if I'm in a crowd and I'm addressing a crowd, do I look at one person or do I look at a number of people? And how long should my gaze rest on these individuals?
Nice. This is presentation skills that we're talking about. You do not want to be looking at one person. You actually want your eyes to flow around the crowd of people that you have there. Indeed, if you have to look at somebody, you're not staring at the person. You looked at them, you take your eyes away. You look at somebody else, you take your eyes away. And it's a matter of seconds. Okay, so you don't want to make anybody uncomfortable by staring at somebody. It does take practice. What you mustn't do is look anywhere else, like in the ceiling, on the ground, by the side. Focus your eyes on the people you're talking to and work it around.
That's very interesting, Mary.
Seconds, that's all you need.
What is your first impression of me then? This is the first time we're actually meeting.
Well, interestingly, I can't see you.
Oh, don't worry. We'll remedy that very soon.
But this is it. First impressions is not about just the eyes. First impressions is about your voice as well. So your voice is giving me the impression. So imagine we were having a telephone conversation. I will still create a first impression of you. I don't need to see you. So I like your voice. I like how you come across. You're smiling. There's enthusiasm. You sound energetic. So I do like what I hear, and it's part of it. So hearing, seeing, and looking are all parts of first impression.
Thank you very much, Janet. Really appreciate it, okay? We look forward to having you back again next week on the show. Please do come back. And, of course, everybody, please do look out for this. Let's move on now to the kitchen. I think it's sizzling in there, and Mary has plenty to tell us and have us taste at the end.
You sound even more eager mentioning the kitchen because of the way the food is shaping up, huh? Oh, my God. You should see what these vegetables look like. Chef Nathaniel of Natude Cuisine is still in charge this morning, preparing Chinese stir-fried rice and pomo sauce. So how far now?
So, well, we've parboiled the rice, so we want to stir-fry the vegetables.
Okay.
So I would mix everything.
So we're currently busy with the stir-fry.
Yes.
Let me help you with this.
Okay, thank you. So
all right.
Just add a little bit of olive oil.
Olive oil, a little more.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So.
Wow, this stir-fry is going to be bad. This is for the sauce, right? Because of the sauce.
This is not for the sauce, for the rice.
For the rice itself?
Yes, so the main one, we just use it for the sauce. Just going to be little. And another thing why olive oil is very beautiful for stir-fry is because of the aroma.
Yeah, and I noticed olive oil usually gives it one, is it glow or shine I'm going to use?
Both, I
the way
think.
it looks when you use olive oil, really nice.
Just going to add seasoning.
Okay,
What's
that?
Steak seasoning, like for meat. Then we have coriander.
Okay,
and
so
basil.
steak and, okay, basil, coriander.
So just add, I didn't really add salt in
the rice.
So
okay, so you season this more?
Yes.
Okay. So you're not making use of seasoning cubes?
No.
None at all? Purely natural, just spices?
This alone has a lot of seasoning.
Yeah.
So if you use seasoning cube, it will like spoil everything.
Okay. So at what point do these come in?
When we've tossed in the rice.
Yeah, so these are like the last items. Okay, so when we toss in the rice, what happens?
As we toss in the rice, then we'll stir fry, then add the sesame oil, oyster sauce, and soy sauce.
Okay, so the soy sauce is the final one.
Yes, just mix everything together. So we can start. Okay.
You want to add the rice now?
Just
the
cucumber.
The cucumbers go in?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
So it's some kind of little more healthy option.
Have you ever tried stir fry with cucumber?
Our rice goes in now.
Okay. Okay, so I'm going to let you do all the stirring and putting it all together because the second hour on the show is almost over. Look at that. Just look at that. Wow. Anyway, we still have 45 minutes more on Wake Up Nigeria today. Make sure you stay with us.
All right, welcome back again. It has been an amazing 2 hours and some minutes already, but we are still here, ready to spend even more time with you. Maybe just 45 minutes to be exact, but it's still time we cherish
Don't
when
worry.
we're on with you.
We promise to make this third lap even more entertaining, so you're just gonna have to stick with us and not go anywhere.
Please don't. Please stay. Don't leave me. And if you must go, don't forget our TVC app is available on the go for download on both Android and iOS store. It allows you to watch us from anywhere, and that's absolutely anywhere in the world.
Now, if you've just tuned in, well, welcome to the party. One followed by stir-fried rice. Oh, well, it's been a fantastic 2 hours so far. My name is Mary Bashua Alimi.
And my name is Mazino Appeal. Now remember to observe all social distancing. All social distancing rules, and please wash your hands as often as you can. You'll be safer for it, and that helps everybody else as well. Let's stop the spread.
Yeah, we remind you also to wear your face mask and avoid crowded places. Very, very important, because we want you to stay safe and protected and always on the other side of our TV screens,
Yes, please.
you know.
We want you. Remember now you can stream the show on the go, tvcentertainment.tv, and on Facebook as well at TVC Connect.
Now, for more exciting videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, tvcentertainment.tv.
Another thing you guys should do is join us tomorrow on IG Live at 2:30. Tomorrow's a Friday for something special. We're going to have someone special. We call it Extra.
Yes. Wake Up Nigeria Extra.
Exactly.
All right, while we're trying to distract ourselves from what's going on in the kitchen, let's go straight to the highlights.
It was one of the first interviews I had as a young broadcaster over 15 years ago.
Wow.
I like the guy. So, about the kitchen, what are we expecting?
Bro, I don't know if anybody else is going to be having breakfast today except me.
Well,
I feel like today is that one day when I'm going to eat the oh my gosh, just look at that.
Oh, wow.
Wow. He's obviously put in the soy sauce.
When
That's
the
what's
camera
giving
comes
it that
back
color.
to us, I won't be here. I would have
You will be here.
head start.
I have a glue on the...
Both of you are wine. Are you for ambulance? Wow.
Do you eat at all?
He eats, so
in-
Mike decided to do a food strike.
Oh, really?
Mike used to be the food guy until you came.
Oh, I see.
We know you are the food guy now.
Okay.
But Mike used to be...
Look at that
Like,
look.
it was hashtag Mike, hashtag food. Then Mike woke up one morning and said, you
decided-
know what? I'm done with this foodie thing.
I know what he's doing.
You guys should stop calling me a foodie. And he stopped eating.
Please call me foodie. I
6
don't
weeks
mind.
now.
I don't mind.
And then Mazino came and took over. Hashtag foodie. That's why I missed the
Any rebuttal?
endorsement
Don't worry.
for food. Oh.
Exactly.
So one day, if I continue this thing, one day, you just turn like this, you don't see anything. The whole thing was that something.
You know, I was telling someone just on Tuesday that I'm suspecting Mike has that in plan.
An agenda.
One day, a
good,
particular
just not
meal he
see.
really likes, you will just see that. He will tell you that he's making up for all the weeks.
Real quick, guys, the 94 ladies who were on that video from a couple of weeks ago have returned to Nigeria.
Yes.
They were given 15,000 naira to cushion the effect of whatever it is they'll be facing when they're here.
Yeah.
I don't know if that is enough. I don't know how far that's going to go. I know that cab fare from airport to Amodofi area is about 5,000 naira.
No, they won't talk up.
No, they will definitely be transferred for quarantine. But
Yes, they are
somebody
going to have to do that.
actually raised this with me. But there's a point I made. Imagine all the Nigerians that waited behind in Nigeria, how they feel that these people are back. They're not only getting money, they're going to get jobs as well, because there are jobs offer as well,
Yeah.
while they've been struggling here.
So is this sending the
you are
right
looking
message?
at it,
Yeah.
exactly. You're looking at it from the angle of, is this enough? While people here are like,
Who sent them?
it's not fair. Me that I've been looking for a job since 1963, you know? So
Yeah.
it's different angles, people looking at it from different areas. So, yeah, it depends on
Yeah.
how you look at it.
All right, so let's do the news.
Ibrahim.
Ibrahim is on standby for that one. So, hey, Ibrahim, how you doing? Very dapper.
Mazino, Mike, Mazino, you guys are not alone.
Ah.
So there are 3 foodies on set today.
Okay.
So it's only
You are-
me.
Mike said it's no longer.
Speak for yourself. You are who?
Okay. Don't worry, I'll wait for you then. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control reported 453 new cases of coronavirus overnight, taking the country's total number of cases to 47,743. Of the new cases, Lagos recorded the highest figure with 113, followed by the Federal Capital Territory with 72 cases. Other states with high numbers include Plateau, 59, Enugu, 55, Kaduna, 38. So far, 33,943 people have been discharged. 956 people have died from COVID-19 complications. And New Zealand has reported 14 new COVID-19 cases a day after its biggest city, Auckland, went back into lockdown. The detection of 4 new infected family members earlier this week shocked a country that had recorded no locally transmitted cases for more than 3 months. Of the new cases, 13 have been linked back to this family, while 1 is an overseas arrival who was in quarantine. All the confirmed cases will now go into quarantine. That's according to the officials. Some of their contacts may also be quarantined. The Department of State Services in Jos, the Plateau State capital, has released the former CBN Deputy Governor Obadiah Mailafia, who was earlier invited by the DSS over his recent comment that one of the northern governors is the commander of Boko Haram. Mr. Obadiah was set free after 6 hours in the custody of the DSS. His lawmaker Yakubu Bawa told journalists that his client was asked to present a surety whose international passport and national identity were taken before being permitted to leave. Although the DSS let him go, they say he will be invited back when the need arises.
Whether it is in Bokos, in Jos, whether it is in Jos, yes. Every Orion, yes, Okajuru, yes. Everywhere, Ninzom, everywhere, Zangon Katal, everywhere a child, Kagoma, everywhere a child, Zankua, Maiduguri. That's right. Because the duty of government is to protect the people. Yes, sir. We must ensure that continues. Amen. We must never give up on our country. Amen. I've said it before, like Nelson Mandela. If it is needed, I am ready to die for our people. Amen.
Now, a former United States ambassador to Nigeria, Walter Carrington, is dead. His death was confirmed in a statement signed by his wife, Aris Carrington. She says, quote, "It's with a heavy and broken heart, but with gratitude to God for his life of selfless humanity, that I announce the passing of my beloved husband, Walter Carrington, former U.S. ambassador to Nigeria and Senegal." End of quote. He passed on peacefully on Tuesday at the age of 90. He was surrounded by loved ones and friends who saw him as a loving husband and father. Mr. Carrington served as the United States ambassador to the Republic of Senegal from 1980 to 1981. In 1993, he assumed office in Nigeria as ambassador and remained in the country till 1997. His connection with Nigeria grew beyond diplomacy as a married and Edo State-born medical doctor. He will be remembered for his anti-dictatorship stance exhibited during the reign of General Sani Abacha. 94 Nigerians stranded in Lebanon have been evacuated. The evacuees arrived at Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos aboard Middle East Airlines. The evacuees are expected to conduct COVID-19 tests, self-quarantine for 14 days, when they will pick up their passports. They narrated sad tales of underpayment and sexual abuse by the Lebanese employers. The federal government has given them job offer and cash of 15,000 naira each to cushion the effects of their experiences in Lebanon. And that's the news today on Wake Up Nigeria.
Welcome back. So, here with me now is the commercial director for TVC Communications, Redmond Ronan, who has over a decade's experience in sales. And today's focus is on how to become a better auto sales executive. And we know we've got lots of that here, especially in Lagos. You're welcome, Ronan.
Thank you very much, Miles.
Good to
be here.
Back.
Yeah, good to be here.
All right. So, with everything that's happening in the world, we know that one thing doesn't stop. Yeah. We continue to sell products, whether we like it or not. Yeah. Here in Lagos is a big market of auto salespeople. Yeah. And you're here today to tell us how we can actually hone these skills and become better at it. Yeah. First off, what do we require for this kind of a job?
Well, just if we recap on last week, this is all about, I suppose, our response in Wake Up Nigeria to the COVID crisis and realizing that a lot of young people are worrying about their futures, careers, etc. And we've identified that sales is a really good opportunity for people, simply because Nigeria is such a consumer market. I think 200 million consumers here, where you have consumers, you have people wanting to sell products and services to those consumers, and where you have people wanting to sell, they need salespeople. Yeah. And I think last week we just touched on some of those categories: finance, advertising, and motoring. So motoring is a huge section and a huge opportunity. The car industry, I think the first car was 1896 with Henry Ford, so it's a very traditional industry. But the car industry is all in the news today with Elon Musk and Tesla, etc. So in every country, the car industry helps grow those economies. So there's huge opportunities available in there. What I love about the car sector, for young people in particular, is I think there's 8 million people employed in cars.
8 million?
In America.
In America, okay.
In America alone. So that shows you the breadth and opportunity for people to work in the car sector. What I love about it is you don't have to have a university degree. So you asked me at the outset, what do you need?
Yeah.
Really what you need in cars, you need to be very personable. You need to have the ability to find a buyer and then understand from that buyer what kind of car they're actually looking for, because your goal is to match the right car with that buyer.
Okay, so we have a couple of slides we're going to be showing you at home, so please do take note. You can see these on your screens. So apart from having a passion for cars itself, what about a personality? What kind of personality will sell these cars?
I think you've hit the nail on the head. Passion is anything you sell. I firmly believe you have to have a passion for it. I sell advertising on TVC. I have a passion for media and I have a passion for TVC. What you need in terms of the personal sales skills when it comes to selling cars is, first and foremost, you need to be able to communicate. So you need to understand what are the cars and the attributes that you have to sell, and you have to be able to communicate those to the people who are coming in to buy from you. Listening, Maz, is a hugely important skill.
Yeah, you have to say that again.
I thought I would with you. Listening is incredibly important, simply because if I ask you the right questions and listen to the answers, I'll have a much better understanding of the kind of car you're looking to buy for. And then also, Maz, patience. Because remember, the difference between buying a car or buying a food good, a car is a huge investment for somebody. They're going to take their time making that investment. They're going to make sure they've made the right choice. It's a lot of money. So you as the salesperson are going to have to be very patient. A lot of salespeople get quite impatient trying to close the sale. You can't do that in car sales, because if you're coming to buy a car from me, you want to test drive it once, twice, even more.
Bring a mechanic over to
you get
try
a mechanic, you bring your own person in, all that. So I, as a salesperson, need to be patient. I'll understand that possibly Maz looks great. He's obviously got the money to buy this car. So if I'm patient with him, possibly in time, and I answer all his questions, possibly then in time he will buy the car from me.
If you're at home, you can see a couple of those traits that you need on the screen as we're showing these slides as we talk. So you say we need passion, personality, patience, very important. Is there anything else that goes with all of those?
There is. The ability to follow up is incredibly important, Maz, because you will come in, you will come into our car dealership, you will look at the car. What I need to do is I need to get your details. I need to build a profile of Maz, so that when Maz walks out, you may not have purchased the car in the first instance, but when you've walked out, I've got your details. Okay. Now, as a salesperson, I need to be good on social media. I need to have those skills so that I can connect with you and say, hey Maz, how are you getting on? Is there any more questions I can answer? Any more queries?
When does that become too intrusive? When does it become a bother?
I think, look,
persistence is one thing.
Persistence is one thing. Look, we live in a consumer society, Maz. We get bombarded with messages all of the time. I think those of us, yourself, myself, who are consumers, we're very quick to say, look, I'm not interested. You know, so I'm never fearful of. As a salesperson, you've got to knock on a lot of doors. And I always feel if you're not knocking on those doors, well, then your competitor is knocking on those doors. So I never worry about being too intrusive, because I do firmly believe, Maz, that consumers will say to you, that's enough. I don't want you to contact me again. And remember, on social media, you can opt in and opt out all the time. So you just have to tick, I don't want any more messages from you. Okay. So it's pretty easy. It doesn't have to be intrusive.
So I'm selling you a car, and you find maybe not the right color, and I don't exactly have that same kind that you want, do I try to sell you something else? Maybe you came in for a wagon, and I'm like, I've got this SUV.
Yep.
Is that a good thing, or am I doing myself a disservice?
No, I don't think you are. I think it is, of course, a good thing, but it goes back to our listening. You know, if you listen to the person who comes into your dealer, you'll know exactly what they're looking for. So if it's a female coming in looking for a family car that's going to take the kids, the whole sole purpose of that car is take the kids in and out of school, put the shopping in the boot, etc. There's a functionality required in that car. If you don't have the car that meets her needs, you are not then going to try and sell her an SUV simply because that's just not her needs.
Because I want to sell a car.
Yeah. Now, if it's down to the basis of colour and you don't have the right colour, well, then you can have a conversation. Say, look, this car does everything you need it to do.
It's just not the right colour.
It's just not the right colour. And we can get it. We can change colour.
Perhaps.
That's not a problem.
So what's the difference between selling a car here in Nigeria and selling a car elsewhere in the world? Is it much of a difference at all?
No, it's a look. I've been selling in Europe for decades, and I've been in Nigeria for 3 years selling. I get asked this question all the time, and my answer is straightforward. Not really. The sales process remains exactly the same. There are about 3 key steps in any sales process, whether you're from Ireland, where I'm from, or whether you're in Lagos, where we are this morning talking. You find a buyer. You listen to what they have to say, and you try and close a deal. And it's as simple as that, Maz. And that is the same the world over. It might be a little bit more professional in the developed world, but in actual fact, the process is exactly the same.
Tell you what we're going to do. Let's see what the difference is like when it comes to advertising here in Nigeria and elsewhere. We've got a couple of samples.
Great.
Ronan, did you see the difference? First off, let me say something. I felt that we have plenty of explaining to do here in Nigeria when it comes to selling a product.
Yes.
While the second sample that we saw, let the pictures do all the talking.
Yeah.
So is there a notable difference in convincing a Nigerian buyer?
No, I don't think so. I think what those 2 ads demonstrated to you was there are 2 very, very different markets. There is a developed motor market internationally. The potential for the Nigerian motor industry is fantastic. It's a yet unexplored. All the big brands are here, the Toyotas, the VWs, etc. But we saw Innocent Motors. Innocent are a local, the line of Africa, indigenous local manufacturer, doing amazing work, employing nearly 10,000 people, fantastic company, and really slowly but surely making their way and bringing the whole motor industry in Africa up with them. I think it's easy to be like the second advert when you're from a very, very developed market. We're still growing our motor market here. We import so many international brands, and we import so many used cars in here. It's fantastic to see someone like Innocent Motors, a local indigenous manufacturer, setting out their stall in that advert.
Oh, very interesting. So let me quickly do a small summary of everything that we talked about today. First off, a passion is highly needed. We need to have that passion to be able to sell it.
Absolutely.
If I don't have a passion for it, I can't sell it to you. I can't say the good stuff about it, apparently.
Exactly.
Need to be very personal about it as well. And also persistence is very important. And our choice in communicating this information that we're trying to pass across is also quite important.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
Did I miss anything?
The only final point I would make in terms of getting started, you don't need university degrees to sell autos. You need to go to your local auto dealer.
You keep going back to that.
Yeah, go back to your local auto dealer, knock on the doors, because once you get in there and start a sales job, the beautiful thing about sales is you can end up running your own company if you have sales skills, and you can really get in. Autos, one of those that allows you in the door. You start as an intern in big companies, or start as a salesman working commission in the smaller companies, but brilliant opportunities in auto.
There's a new trend as well, where people actually don't have actual offices, they have virtual offices.
That's right.
So how can I use this to my advantage? Social media and all of that, what do I need to do to make whatever platform I'm using very different and attractive to the buyer?
I think what you need to do is everything that you guys are doing so fantastically well here in Wake Up Nigeria, people are becoming, all of us consumers becoming great content creators.
Yeah.
If you're selling a car, you go out, you take a video of that car for 30 seconds, you talk through the great features, you put it up on social media, out it goes. You can do that from your bedroom, from your kitchen, from anywhere. You don't have to be in a showroom to actually do it. The person will need to see the car at some stage, but it goes back to what we said about social media and your ability to be good, and that's what young people are, and that's why selling cars is a young person's job, I believe, and that's where they work, and social media plays a big role in that.
Well, thank you very much, Ronan. You've told me, I
Isaac.
mean, that's so much information, and would like to say thank you. We look forward to having you back again on this series.
I look forward to it, Maz.
So, hey, if you're out there, there's plenty you can learn, so do make it back again. In fact, stay. We've got plenty going on in the kitchen. And I assure you, if only television could let you smell what I'm smelling, oh, it's about to go down.
All right, it's time for us to have a conversation with our guest, our final guest on the show today.
Yes.
Simply known as Kofi. Kofi Idowu is an entertainer, comedian, musician, and actor.
Yes. He's also known as Kofi the Guru on Instagram. Now, he is half Togolese and half Nigerian. He joined theater in 1988 and trained as an actor, dancer, and also comedian, opening act in 2013. He won Most Outstanding Comic Movie in the Nani at the Abuja International Film Festival. And he's here with us today. So, Kofi, hey, good morning, Kofi.
Good morning, bonjour, ça va?
Ça va bien, merci. Great to have you on the show.
Merci beaucoup. Thank you so much.
Oui.
Bless you,
Yeah.
thank you.
Kofi, it's been 15 years since the last time I spoke with you. You were one of the very first guests I had on radio as a young broadcaster. And I've watched your comedy mature over the years, from you being an opening act to you being a big star on one of the biggest comedy shows on television currently. I can't remember the name of the character you play, but it's a funny one. You know the one I'm talking about, Flatmates, yes?
That was 20 years ago, Dauda, and then lately you see me play Fiki on Flatmates. Yeah.
Exactly. It's good to have you on the show.
And since we're talking about how we know Kofi, Kofi, I don't think you remember me. I'm that. Can we just go on? I'm just kidding. But it's all good. Kofi, your journey has been an eventful one, a very eventful one, starting from comedy, and somehow you've been able to touch every aspect and still make a success out of it. What has it been like so far? Because I know it can be quite a struggle.
For me, it's not, because I had a good foundation from Theatre 15. When I joined Theatre 15, I had my hands in everywhere. I started as an assistant sound man. I was behind the scenes. Then Waka passed there. So I went through the ropes. So I went through every angle. And then I was given the upbringing that you must work with family. So that has sustained me a lot beyond my creativity, always working with other people. Always been part of a bunch, always been part of a team. So that has been very, very helpful. A tree can never make a forest. So my success is not based on my knowing or how to do things, but because I work with other people, people with like minds, people who also rub off on me positively. So that's why.
So Kofi, we've seen comedy evolve from what it was to what it is now. There's so much comedy content, especially on social media. You personally, you have such a character on social media as well. My question is, what is the relevance of comedy in today's environment? With everything that we are going through, how important is comedy?
Besides chloroquine, comedy is the most potent cure for Nigerian Malay. As in, the depression in Nigeria is high, so we need a lot of humor. Besides clinical corrections, we need a lot of humor. And that's the only way people step things down. Yesterday, a video was going viral of a guy who goes to the studio and he's doing a freestyle, and he says, first of all, he's going to dagger all his enemies, and before that, he's going to kill the producer. And then the producer goes, kill who? You get out of this studio. And that video has been killing people. Now, every day we see such videos that just makes people happy. Okay, we need a lot of comedy humor, except when it is coming from politicians. So comedy is indeed a relief for us presently, based on what realities we were facing, the pandemic, the depression. Take note, before Corona hit us, there were a high level rate of suicide in Nigeria, but during the pandemic, there's been no suicide. People had to focus more on humor online, and it's been helpful. It's been very helpful.
You know, we talked about you being an actor, a comedian.
Yeah.
We left out something.
What was
Recently, you delved into clothing.
Oh.
What informed that?
Merchandising.
Yes.
Well,
what informed that?
I am of the belief that a lot of our young people need to be engaged. So I'm sitting down at home one day, and this young man takes my brand logo and then makes it into something beautiful.
Wow.
Sends it back to me and says, "Bros, look at this." And I'm like, "Let's go." And then we started, and it's overwhelming. Now I'm going to a meeting with a shoe store that's going to be producing casual footwear.
Wow.
I have a perfume line waiting to come on board. I have a mug service supplying mugs with Kofi Guru brand.
Wow.
So the merchandise line is expanding. I'm supplying clothes to a particular brand. They want me to make some certain specific outfits for their brand, for their company. All from just that one engagement. And the young man has been making money. He doesn't have to go into any negative vice to survive. So I'm engaging a lot of young people on several levels. My latest movie was shot in Shomolu, streets of Shomolu.
Okay.
Strictly about young people. So for me, it's about engaging young people constantly. Not having to motivate them with words, but action. Okay, that's what I'm doing. I'm not all over social media telling you wear this, wear that, and I can't empower you to be able to afford to do that. So for me, it is engage young people. Don't be preaching them. I'm an inspiration for the past, the present, and the future, and I want to stay that way by doing the active things that I need to do, not just using words, not just be posting glamour on the gram, but engaging you. I'm making a TV series strictly for high school students.
Wow.
I'm making movies for young people. I'm involving myself. I'm behind the scenes. I'm allowing them push. When we're shooting Streets of Shomolu Lebe, I brought someone else to be directing whilst I'm just sitting at the back. I'm also playing a Waka Pass role in my own movie. That's the way you can build the future, not just be the boss all the time. I don't think we're doing good for our young people. And we keep calling them Yahoo, Yahoo. We keep complaining. What are we doing for them?
Kofi, you seem to have plenty to say. We don't have enough time,
Unfortunately,
but thank you very much for being on with us.
Thank you more.
Real quick. Frank Donga, Shaggy, or Lasisi, who's your best one?
Why are you trying to set me up? They're all my friends.
Exactly my thoughts.
What are you trying to do?
Who's your favorite?
I mean, the wine meaning.
Thank you very much, Kofi. Good to have you on the show. We look forward to having you back again. Well, Mary, we have more coming up to round off the show.
It's food. There's nothing more.
Yes, that's the point.
He said it like we have like an hour more to go. Mazino and food.
So let's do the kitchen, shall we?
Sure.
All right, after you. Come on.
Come on. Mike is there already. He's waiting for us, pretending to not be a foodie.
Tell us, Matino. So how do we do our roundup, our usual roundup?
Okay, so today we made Chinese stir-fry rice and pomo sauce. So what we did was to parboil the rice, then we stir-fried the vegetables, the carrots, bell peppers, spring onions.
Wow.
Then we mixed in the rice and soy sauce, oyster sauce, sesame oil.
Wow.
And
voila, here we are.
Oh, all right.
This looks good.
So what's the next step?
So you do.
Oh, but of course,
no,
I mean.
but Mike, do the honors, please. It's been a while. We just wanted to taste it.
No, don't worry. Mazino got it.
You don't mind? No, I don't. I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem. I'm the official taster for the show. I mean, we get paid to have breakfast.
Paid to have breakfast.
As usual, it is fantastic. This is a good one.
What a mouthful.
It is. It is.
Pepper is big.
Oh my. All right, we've got to say a very big thank you to everyone who has been a part of the show today, the contributors, the cast, the crew, everybody. Thank you so much for your time. And of course, we'll be back bright and early tomorrow, 6 a.m. Be sure to stay tuned. You can't even talk.